right, everybody, we're back. Today is our first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. I appreciate you, as always, for joining me here on this health journey. We answer all of our community's questions in the order that they come in every single weekend. So right now we are tackling questions from about 8 weeks ago to 9 weeks ago. The first ones came in, these are on 9/2. So yeah, just about 9 weeks ago, which I think is pretty good. So we're usually somewhere around 12 weeks. We've been up to 13 weeks in the queue. So keep the questions coming. I'm always happy to answer them. But I do like to say, if you want same day answers, best place to go is first just search at stephencabral.com/podcast. There's over 2,800 podcasts, topics on anything that you can imagine, they're there. So check it out there first. But also, if you can't find the podcast, ask at cabralsupportgroup.com. We will help you find it. All right. So let's get started now. First question coming in. I just opened up the document, which my team has been amazing over the years of putting this together, basically taking your questions from the form you fill out on my website and popping them right into this nice little Pages doc. All right. First question is from Carl. Let's see what Carl has to say. Thank you for the tremendous service that you provide, Dr. Cabral. I've always been dealing with an overall dry body, dry palms, feet, face, etc. When I urinate, it is always high volume. No matter how much I drink, my urine is borderline dark yellow. I'm dealing with a long-term candida issue. I did the Big 5 a year ago and my T4 was fine. T3 was low. My body is buzzing all the time and feels stressed to the max. I'm a certified mess. I've tried the thyroid and adrenal supplements. I currently take DNS greens, powder, and omega-3s. Any thoughts would be appreciated. All right, not happy to hear that you feel like you're a certified mess. But before you even put in what your results were, I was looking at this is a most likely hyperadrenalism based issue. Now that I said that, I have to say I cannot provide you with any disease diagnosis, a treatment plan, a cure, or medical advice of any type. However, what happens is, and I can just break it down for you, when you look at when the adrenals are stressed, they're producing a stress neurotransmitter called norepinephrine, noradrenaline, however we want to look at it, depending on the part of the world that you're in. And we'll call it a stress hormone. And then you have glucocorticoids, which is cortisol. And so the cortisol actually starts to block T4 to T3 conversion, or it converts T3 to T4, which is why you may start to see some of the dry skin that you're seeing right now. The high urine volume is from not just the norepinephrine and the cortisol, but also from something called aldosterone. So your body starts to literally begin to urinate out a lot of your electrolytes as well. And if you have that, well, then you can't absorb water that well. So every drink that I would consume would have some electrolytes in it if it wasn't a smoothie. So I would do a pinch of Himalayan sea salt. If your favorite type is totally fine, Celtic or Celtic, rock salt, although we don't use that as much, but Ayurveda does. Redmond's real salt, you know all the great types out there, right? Pink salt, all that good stuff. So that's that. What matters more than the thyroid, although thyroid's important, is really getting a handle on the autonomic nervous system and the stress. So I can't recommend to you enough. I don't know what is stressing you out to the max, but we can't supplement away. We can't supplement it away. For now, yes, the Adrenal Soothe, full spectrum magnesium, and the full sleep health protocol before bed. Yes, I agree with that. I had to do it myself to get the body even just enough control to then begin to work on the walking, meditation, binaural beats, resonance breathing, talk therapy, whatever it is that you need to do, dynamic neural retraining system, like literally anything. Read the Rain Barrel Effect. Take level 1 or level 2 of IHP, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Whatever you need to do, we need to fix this now because they don't get better all on their own. The supplements you're taking are great, and I would say, great, yes, continue doing those with the adrenal ones that I recommended, and maybe even the immunity protocol. But remember, the supplements are one of 8 parts of the de-stress protocol. All right, and I write about that in the Rain Barrel Effect, which of course, hopefully you all know is free. So feel free to give a copy to your friends and family. I pay for the book to be printed. It's a little over $7 to print that 400-page book, and it's about $7 and something cents to ship it. So that's what we do. I make literally no profit on it at all. I just want to get the information out to people. The profit that I do make on the sales of Amazon, because you're welcome to purchase it from Amazon, I donate that 100% of that profit to charity. So there you have it, the Rain Barrel Effect. You can find it at stephencabral.com and Amazon, and just keep spreading the word. This is how we help people heal, not by one way, by actually assessing the entire human body. And while I'm speaking about the Rain Barrel Effect, if you haven't left a review on Amazon yet, I would really appreciate that. It helps us. Every review helps us to rise in the rankings, get that book out to more people that may not have known about it before. All right, so thank you. All right, second question is from Roman. Roman says, hey, Dr. Cabral, I listened to your What Your Pee Says About Your Health podcast. There was no mention of foam, E, or bubbles in pee. I've had this issue for a long time now. It doesn't happen with every pee, but most pees will bubble, sometimes less. I mentioned this to my doctor, who shrugged it off as probably something you ate. I did a protein strip test, but they were negative. I'm generally a healthy 39-year-old male with a healthy diet and lifestyle. I did test positive for candida overgrowth in my gut. Could this have anything to do with my issues? If not, what could it be? P.S. I will be starting your limited use protocol in a few weeks. Thanks so much for answering my question. Okay, I'm happy to help with this as well. So, you'll find this question answered before at stephencabral.com/podcast, but I'm going to answer it again. So, and because I'm happy to do that, this is a question that a lot of people ask. So if you see bubbles, like a lot of bubbles, not a little bubbles is totally fine. There's two main reasons. I'll give you three, but there's two main reasons why there are bubbles in the toilet when you urinate. Okay. So if you urinate very forcefully, it can create a lot of bubbles. And there's nothing actually wrong then with you or your body or what you might be excreting. However, normal urination will create just a few bubbles, right? Just a few bubbles. So that's not a problem. A few bubbles, no big deal. A lot of bubbles in the toilet usually means concentrated urine and/or higher levels of protein in the urine. Now, this can happen overnight as our bodies are breaking things down, or it could happen after really hard workouts, or if the body's not recovering, or if you're losing more muscle mass than you should be. So it's at least worth exploring. Could there be a candida involvement in any of this? It is possible, but I'm not sure if it is likely. All right, but either way, you're going to be working on the candida, you're going to be working on the bacteria, and so hopefully that answer helps. Cindy is up next. Cindy says, hi, Dr. Cabral. I eat very healthy, a healthy diet and exercise 6 days a week. And I weight lift and I walk. I do the 16-8 fast every day. I've noticed that my weight is increasing, especially around the abdomen. I checked my hormones and I found out that my thyroid is on the low side and my estrogen and progesterone too. I'm 47, so I feel that's normal. My cortisol is slightly increased too. I really want to lose some weight, especially around the middle. What would you suggest? How do I find out what's stressing my body? How do I know if it's the fast or something else? Thanks so much for the answer. I really appreciate your help. All right. So I want to say this, and I say this with love. A lot of people are doing testing now, which is phenomenal. That's what we want. But a test is just a test. You want to only run lab tests with a practitioner that doesn't say something like, it's probably something you ate, right? So you want to run lab tests with a qualified individual that's not just qualified to get you the test, but actually tell you what this means, what the likely reasons were, not to provide a diagnosis, and then how to heal. Because Cindy, and this is the truth, you don't have to run this with myself and my team over at Equilife. You're welcome to. But a test of this importance, you want to run with an IHP level 2 or a local naturopathic doctor that specializes in this. Not everyone does. So I can definitely vouch for integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Head on over. We don't have any affiliation with any of those businesses, and there are all around the world. So level 2. But here's the thing. This is really important because you saw your estrogen and progesterone. We don't know your ratio. We saw your cortisol was elevated, and we saw that your hormones or your thyroid was on the lower side. So we would ask and look at what your diet looked like. What time do you start your intermittent fast? What time do you end it? Are you drinking coffee on an empty stomach? What are your levels have been in the past? Okay, how's your sleep? So it's never one thing. That's the important thing. And then what we would do is we would design a program personalized for you. That's precision-based health. That's what is available to everyone right now. I was talking about this at the Reimagining Health Summit, and I want that to be for you too. But we need to know what's going on. We need to know, because you can do 16-8. You just don't want to start at noon. You want to start at 10 a.m. at the latest. And all my research and all my podcast states this. I mean, I'm just going to give you a couple, Cindy, here to go back on, because I want to make sure you get the help that you deserve. Okay, so let's see here. It is episode 2819, and then I did one 2826 on sleep. Oh, and then another in 2833. Those are just recent ones on intermittent fasting. But Cindy, here's a whole bunch of shows all free on intermittent fasting. stephencabral.com/IF. And that will teach you also about your thyroid levels and going into ketosis and all these different things. And then I have a bunch of podcasts just on the thyroid. And then I have a whole thyroid course at stephencabral.com/courses. So you'll be able to dive in deep there. All right. All right, Morella is up next. Morella says, hi, Dr. Cabral. Generally speaking, do you need to take on extra vitamins and minerals if you are already using a multivitamin that contains RDA, all the main micronutrients that you need? Thank you for your answer. All right, so let's say you're using something like the Daily Nutritional Support or the Daily Activated Multi. Do you need to take extra vitamins and minerals? The answer is often yes, but not all of them. And so then how do you know which extra ones that you need? Well, you want a good whole food diet. And then we know that that's just to prevent, like good whole food diet, we want that, of course. And then a daily activated multi or daily nutritional support provide you with your 100% of your RDA vitamins and minerals. So that's excellent. Okay. But now how do you know you don't need more magnesium or more chromium or more B vitamins? Well, you do that by testing. And there's something called the starter test or the starter kit. I apologize. You can find that at stephencabral.com/starter-kit. And that will give you all your vitamin and mineral-based levels to look at. And then there's one for the omega-3s. I don't know the link to that, but we'll just say they're all at stephencabral.com/shop. There's one for omega-3 test, which is omega-3 inflammation. And then there's the starter kit. Now, please always keep in mind, when I share these things with you, it's what we do in our practice, that we ship these to many countries all over the world. But you'd never need to do it with us if you don't want to. I simply have to give you a place to look as to see what these things are, and then you can decide to do them with an integrated health practitioner level 2 or someone that's qualified. Again, if they give you a lab test but can't give you a reason why, can't give you a protocol, it's not worth doing. It's just more confusing because it's not just all about the supplement. It's about why this might be, what foods might contain it, how we can improve this, how long we should use it for. Then we may wean off. All right, so I'm going to make next year all about precision-based health. All right, thank you for writing in. Let's see, should we do one more question? Let's do one more. This one's from Marina. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Every time I include protein powder into my daily routine, whether it is whey or vegan, my iron saturation always goes up too much to around 50%. If I include it for a month or so, it drops back down to 25 to 30%. What could it be? I understand that vegan might have this effect due to vegan iron source, etc., but not sure why whey protein would have the same effect. All right, it's interesting, and that's a great point. Okay, so first things first, I don't have your blood work in front of me, so I can't tell you what your iron saturation levels are, and so I can't tell you exactly whether this is even harmful or not. But I agree with you. So I agree with you. A pea-based protein powder with a lot of it, you need a lot of 30 grams or plus a day, will help to move the iron levels up. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about that. And that's usually within a healthy and safe range, especially for people who need more oxygen to the red blood cells. Okay. But a whey protein shouldn't do that. It really shouldn't, because there's not enough iron in whey to move the needle like that. So what I would ask you is this: do you do something differently when using your whey protein? Do you increase your workouts, right? Do you do anything to increase? Because there's some studies showing that whey protein can actually improve red blood cells and MCH, MCHV, RDW. So when you look at your complete blood count, that's why we never like to look at anything in isolation. When I look at iron, transferritin, ferritin, total iron binding capacity. I always recommend running those 4. And then I look at complete blood count. So the MCH, MCV, I look at all those different numbers. And hematocrit, what it's telling me is, do we have the same number of red blood cells? Are they better oxygenated? What's going on here? So nothing lives in isolation, and that's really what I would look at. And I would also ask you, if you're a personal wellness client, is do you do anything differently? Everything is exactly the same, and you just switch the whey or the vegan protein, or do you include more red meat in your diet, more of other things that might include a little bit higher iron too. All right. So I apologize. I wish I could answer that maybe a little bit more succinctly or better for you. But for right now, until I had more data, that's what I'm able to do. So thank you so much, everybody, for writing in here today. I will be answering another 5 or 6 questions tomorrow. So come on back. Enjoy your weekend. I'll talk with you then. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.